Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Founders on Fire podcast from the Tech Trailblazers. My name's Rose Ross, and I'm the Chief Trailblazer and founder of the awards. And I'm delighted to be here today with Dmitry and Davide from Xinnor. So, hello. They are our startup Firestarter Awards winners, recently crowned in the last few months. And I'm delighted to have you both with me today. Perhaps, David, in Italy, you could kick things off with a little bit about who you are, and then we can hand over to Dmitry to talk about himself and, your wonderful company.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Rose, for having us at this podcast. So my name is Davide, as you said. I've been with the company for over 2 years now. And so very new to the very early days when the company was just started promoting the technology to the market. As you said, I'm based out of Italy, but I'm looking after the worldwide sales for Xinnor, sales, marketing, pre-sales, and the ecosystem development. Many years in the storage industry, over 25 years. You can tell by my look by now, at different companies, large corporation or startups. And that's about me. Over to you, Dmitry.
Yeah, thanks, Rose, for inviting us today. My name is Dmitry, and I am just company CEO. I'm with the company from the first day because besides CEO, I'm co-founder of the company. As well as Davide, I'm in storage industry in about 20 years as well. So we are like veterans with a lot of ideas and what is important with great experience that we have in our back. Xinnor, it's a company established at Israel a bit more than 2 years ago, but we did a lot for these 2 years. And as every baby, we had a great experience in the first years of our life. So now we speak really well, and we are noticed. Thanks that we are noticed by you, and thanks for the award that we have. So we are today to discuss all your questions. Don't hesitate to ask toughest question to us. It would be really interesting and hopefully not only for us, but as well for podcast listeners.
Fantastic. That sounds great. Well, I'll have to scratch my head here now with some tough questions. But so tell us a little bit about the organization. I don't know whether David, you'd like to pick this up, or Dmitry. Tell us a little bit about what Xinnor is all about. What is your technology? What pain points are you addressing for your customers?
Yeah, if you don't mind, let me take it, Dmitry. So the main reason why Xinnor exists is to enable very fast access to data while protecting data from anything that could happen. So protecting from hardware or software failures that can happen in our industry. So why do we need a new data protection scheme? What we do fundamentally, you can call it a RAID or erasure coding. It's nothing new. It has been in the industry for many, many years. What is new is the way we do it and why we need to do it differently. So what we have been seeing in the market in the last 5-6 years is the advent of very fast media. The transition from HDD to fast SSD. And within the SSD landscape, you can see that there has been a trend to very fast NVMe SSD. And the traditional data protection schemes were developed with slow spindles in mind. So they are not designed to handle the very high level of parallelism that you can find on the latest and greatest SSD media. So that requires a different way of developing the technology, and that's our core. That's what we really know how to do it. So we're able to implement data protection without impacting the performance, or actually by enabling maximum possible performance. So this is becoming very interesting nowadays because there is a lot of interest for faster data access, and even more interest if you think about all the new hype around artificial intelligence. Being able to train artificial intelligence models require extreme performance in training the models, in accessing the data to load the GPU, and also to be able to checkpoint the results of this training, or actually the various steps within the training. And that's where we see good applicability of our technology. We see that we can really make the difference in enabling extreme performance and minimize the time to train AI models.
So where are you seeing that particularly important? Are there any industries that are kind of bubbling up as being particularly needing that type of approach, this sort of new age of SSD-friendly storage?
Yeah, so the SSD are across all the industry nowadays. Where we see strong demand for extreme performance is it's coming from what used to be traditional HPC industry, high performance computing, which is now all the players in this market, they are experimenting with artificial intelligence. And it can be different type of artificial intelligence. So normally the consumer, they think about chat box type of implementation like chat GPT, but there are many different use cases which are more industrial oriented or research oriented, medical oriented, where AI can really bring value to the communities. And so we see all the universities, advanced university, all the advanced research institution, they are now experimenting with artificial intelligence. So this create some challenges to their existing storage infrastructure because they were not implemented, they were not designed to handle such a high level of data traffic. And they're all considering new ways to provide fast storage to those nice and expensive GPUs. So that's the main market, but it's not the only market. So if you think about high frequency trading or any data ingestion type of application, performance is key, and that's where we focus.
Fantastic. So I know. Sorry, Dmitry?
Yes, Ross. I would like to add that, about storages, it's a really interesting story. 20 years ago, when I was a newcomer at the industry, one of the industry veterans told me that storages, it's like a bread. Everybody needs storages. And as well, performance is one of the main ingredients of this bread. And what we provide this main ingredient with a great resiliency mechanism. What we do much more better than all other at the world, or at least we think we do it much more better than all the other at the world. It's a great resiliency with unbeatable performance of storage engine. For sure. We, at the present moment, not compete as a complete storage solution. We looks like one of the component of the storage But this component is a key component at the industry. And without this component, you cannot receive what is more important for many industries, and that is performance. And all the use cases that Davide mentioned, they exist in such use cases only by the reason that customer need performance in great resiliency infrastructure.
Yeah, resilience is definitely a key word, isn't it? So you must have had some very interesting conversation. I'm going to talk about this again slightly off the thing, because I do think for a relatively new startup, you guys have been racking in the air miles. Like, I'm just going to go through where between you and your colleagues have been. You've been to Munich, you've been to Hamburg, San Jose, Vegas, Santa Clara, Atlanta, Paris, Taipei, and good old Manchester. So you must have had some really great conversations during those trips. And I know that you've got some really cool partnerships. I noticed, something recently with ARM. You've been to the NVIDIA conference over in Vegas. What's your sort of take on how the requirements of the marketplace, and as you say, they've changed through AI and HPC, or wherever those two kind of collide. What are you seeing maybe some of the traditional players are kind of not providing at the moment? Because obviously they've got historic stuff, right? They've got what they've already produced, and that was produced for requirements which were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, possibly longer. What can you see as the sort of the lag behind the requirement at the moment?
Yeah. In the storage industry, everybody tries to provide high performance and data resiliency. So we're not the first one going after those key requirements, but it's the way that we do it that differentiate ourselves. One of the thing that we enable to achieve extreme performance on commodity hardware, and that's really differentiate us versus the traditional storage OEMs. Because if you refer to storage OEMs, they provide you a complete monolithic solution which comprise the hardware and the software and the support, which can be beneficial for many users, but it also drastically increase the cost and reduce the flexibility of this solution. In our case, we're able to achieve even higher performance with a similar or better level of resiliency at a much lower price point. And that allows organizations that normally could not afford to implement such a sophisticated and fast storage infrastructure. We enable them to be equipped with this storage infrastructure. So I was talking about artificial intelligence earlier.
Yeah.
In artificial intelligence, what really costs the most is not storage. Storage is the least of the priority of the data center administrators. What really makes the difference in terms of cost is the GPU. So how can we help our customer in maximizing the utilization of the GPU? That's where storage matters. So it's not just about the cost of the storage, but by providing extreme performance, we make sure that we maximize the utilization of those expensive resources, like the GPU, and ultimately maximize the ROI for the customer. That's where we really fit and we really focus.
So you obviously talked about education and research departments at universities. And I guess that's kind of that kind of is the lag, isn't it? That they are now researching using AI to accelerate their research cycles. But if they don't have the performance within, accessing the data, then they're kind of losing that advantage. And then they're caught in the trap of, previously without solutions like yours, that they would have to invest so heavily in that they just never would be able to afford the level of computing that's available to them, the processing power. So it sounds like very compelling opportunity, but also for others, it's a way of reducing that investment without taking a hit on performance.
Yeah, Ross, thanks for the question. It's really interesting. And let me start to answer on this question from the story. You mentioned a lot of places which we visited for 2 years. And you does mention one of the most important for us, geography, which is Japan. And historically, it's our first customer for Xinnor. One of the first customers at Xinnor. And it's a project in HPC field. And I don't want to downplay artificial intelligence. But well, traditional high-performance computing is still alive. And it's difficult to have a clear border between high-performance computing and artificial intelligence as well, because a lot of tasks, a lot of scientific researches relates as well to the tasks that were addressed by high-performance computing solutions for a long ago as well. And thanks to our projects in Japan, we understand not only customer demands relates to AI and machine learning, but as well demands relate to the high-performance computing environments and very complicated scientific models which are used in different industries. And thanks for our experience that we get at Japan, we understand much more better as well what should be the main demand on site from the other universities and research institutions. And now we focus in this industry because a lot of customers in this industry are ready to develop their own solutions and to exploit all the benefits of our product. They are ready to have to invest their own efforts to receive high-performance solutions out of their installations with different file systems on top of our engine, with different applications on top of our engine. And it's our strategy at the present moment to be focused on the customers who are ready to use current product with current competitive advantages for this product. It's not our final destination. It's just our starting point because RAID engine, data protection engine, erasure coding engine, different guys call it differently. It's only start of our way. And our final destination is in more sophisticated solutions that we are developing at the present moment. I don't want to disclose all the details here because it's...
Mum's the word. So there are exciting things to come from you guys. So, I mean, how do you feel that... in your startup journeys, both of you have been in the industry for a long time, and obviously the startup world for some of that time and possibly more. What would you say are the key moments in your startup journey that have been particularly challenging? Because it's, being involved in a startup, it's not easy. It's a lot of work, a lot of plates to spin with not lots and lots of resources, certainly in these early years. Can you maybe, Dmitry, share some of the challenges you've seen, and then maybe Davide can chime in with any that he has come across?
Okay, I think I have a very simple answer on this question. I think most interesting challenges waits us at the future. I believe. Stability.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're smiling a lot, so you're obviously not in too much pain for having, being 2 and a bit years into your startup journey. David, anything that you'd like to add on that?
Yeah, so that, being a startup, there are always challenges that we need to face, but the key is very much to focus on our core competencies and try to control what we can control. There are things that are outside of our control, and we just need to be mindful of them. But then, if we stay focused on our core competencies and what we can control, then things will look bright for the future. So you mentioned we've been traveling a lot in the last couple of years, and we made a great connection with very large corporation. We built our ecosystem. We're now partnering with NVIDIA, with ARM, with Western Digital, SanDisk, Kioxia, Micron, Samsung, and many others. Very, very large corporation. And they all recognize that we have a fundamental technology that can enable more of their business. So we're not comparable at all in terms of size, in terms of revenue, but they see that we have something unique that can help their business in the future as well. So that's extremely motivating.
Yeah, absolutely, Davide, absolutely with you. And I think the most important question for us at the present moment, it's not a question of what to do, it's a question what not to do. Because from this point of view, we see so much opportunities and so much interesting projects, but every opportunity and every project means the costs and investments from our side. And at the present moment, toughest question for us is to elaborate the opportunities and projects which would be most important, most interesting for us at the future. Not for today. It's as well the topic of every startup that you should not be in just operational management activities. You need to look at the future from one side, but from another side, you should be absolutely adequate to the current reality and understand well who are your customers, and even better to understand who are not your customers and why they are not your customers.
Focus is a very important part of the startup journey. And as they say, there's a lot to be said for being in a niche and finding your niche where you can really make a difference. And then if you want to do other stuff as well, because you've got the funding and you've got, all the other stuff's in place, and kind of land and expand somewhat with regards to that. So that kind of takes us on to another thing, which I'm sure you'll have. This is a lovely question, because I always know that people beam when they get an opportunity to answer this question. It's, what are the key moments that you're particularly proud of? And Dmitry, you mentioned, the first project in Japan, which sounds, that your face lit up when you were speaking about that. David, for you, what would be one of the moments that you're particularly proud of?
Well, there have been many of those. I mentioned earlier that we managed to build partnership with very, very large corporation. NVIDIA being the most famous company in the world, in the IT world nowadays. And we have a partnership with them. So that's a source of a lot of pride. But also every single project that we managed to win together with our partners give us a lot of happiness. You need to think at us as an engineering organization. So when we normally have internal calls with all the team to keep them up to date with what's going on from a market perspective. And when I share with my colleagues that extremely prestigious universities are relying on our technology for their mission critical data, that's a source of pride for all the team. So that's probably the one that made the team happiest up until now.
Yeah, well, you're protecting Nobel Prize winning research, hopefully, around the world, which is not a bad thing. Things that will make a massive difference over the years to come. So that's exciting. And obviously, one of the things I know that you guys were very excited about was winning the awards. So, what has that meant for you guys, particularly at this early stage of your development?
Yeah, you said right. We are at the early stage of our development, so we remain humble. We won the award, and we really appreciate winning the award because it means that we get notice, and all the effort that we have been doing in the last couple of years is start paying off. But at the same time, we recognize we are still early stage in our journey, so there is a long way to go. We have a long-term vision. So hopefully we will be winning more of those awards, and this will enable us solidifying our name in the industry even further.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's always the storage trailblazers for this year. So, now that you've won the Firestarter, there's more opportunities ahead, and I'm sure other recognition for what you're doing. But as you say, the most rewarding is when you've found a great partnership, which will help, you helping them, and they will obviously help drive forward with your business. Is there any advice you would offer? Because, you're now, reasonably far into your journey as a startup, and other people may be looking in different sectors or in storage to embark on this, or in the earlier stages. Are there any bits of advice that you would offer to people?
Well, from my side, I want to remain humble. So we're still early days in our journey, but the recommendation I can give to any startup is to, first of all, identify a market need, and then develop your own competence to fill that void with something that resonates for the market. So you can have the best technology in the world, but if there is no demand for it, it will be hard to sell it. So you need to have a good combination of core competence and market requirement.
So you need to start with the pain, the customer pain, and then work on the remedy.
Yeah, thanks, Davide. Probably my advice will be shorter. First part of my advice to everybody to be bold. It's extremely important. If you wouldn't be bold, you wouldn't have any dreams, you wouldn't have any ideas. But the second part of the advice, to be realistic, because only you understands better than all the others who could be your customers and who could not be. And it's even more important to answer absolutely fairly to yourself, not to everybody else, who are not your customers and what should not be implemented in your product. It's my advice.
Yeah. So focus as much on what not to do as what to do.
Exactly.
Very good. Well, I'm out of questions, unfortunately. We did talk about AI, and I also wanted to put a little nod to Stephen Foskett, because when I was researching you guys, he has interviewed you talking about the AI side of the business. But I think you've probably answered all of that stuff. But hi, Stephen. But is there anything else you'd like to add that we maybe haven't touched upon yet?
I think we gave a good overview of the company, of our strengths, we didn't speak a lot of our ambition, but those are a bit under embargo.
Yeah, but hopefully when you've written Storage Trailblazers next year or this year, we can talk again and then you can give us an update.
Yes, indeed. Looking forward to that.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Looking forward for that, and thanks for invitation for today, Ross.
Yep, you are very welcome, and congratulations again. And that was Davide and Dmitry from Xinnor, who are our Firestarter Awards winners. If you would like more on the awards and find out more about Xinnor, you can link through to them from our website, which is techtrailblazers.com. You can also follow us on Twitter and LinkedIn. Obviously, love to engage with you guys out there in Startup Land and find out what you're interested in. And yes, join us again for another Founders on Fire podcast. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you, Rose.
That is so much.
Everyone.